Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, esteemed veterans, fellow Virginians, today we meet on these hallowed grounds of the National D-Day Memorial in Bedford, a place of reverence, a place of remembrance, a place of profound gratitude. A place where we come face to face with the inescapable truth that the freedom that we enjoy today, that the liberties we hold dear and yet too often take for granted, were won in battle, gained and then protected by heroes who gave their lives so we could be free. Behind me are the boys of Pointe du Hoc. Before me, the men who stormed the beachhead. Around us are the names of over 4,400 heroes who died for our liberty, who died on June the 6th, 1944 in an invasion of unparalleled scale that changed the course of human history. Today, we honor the incredible souls who defined victory with their unwavering courage. To the veterans, service members, and their families that are here with us today, thank you feels wholly inadequate. Please know that we salute you and are forever indebted to you and your families for your sacrifices. With us today is Ship's Cook Second Class, Ernest Fulcher, a fellow Virginian, a World War II and D-Day veteran. He's joined by his daughter, Becky, and her husband, Barry. Ernest, we are honored by your presence and service to our country. Ernest joined the Navy when he was just 15 years old. And at 17, he helped escort the boats of Normandy to shore. His daughter says in her own words that she's proud of her dad. She's proud that he served in that war as part of the greatest generation. They have a strength. It was a strength that awakened in the cities and the quiet towns across America, especially like this one of Bedford. It was a strength that enabled the ordinary to achieve the extraordinary. It was a strength that lifted America and her allies together to defeat fascism and face down true evil. Today, the depth of our gratitude and the magnitude of our respect for the men who sacrificed on that fateful day is beyond simple words. 79 years ago, both Europe and Asia were under siege. Continental Europe was lost. Friends, families, allies called out. Freedom itself was at stake. Americans answered the call courageously, selflessly. The Bedford boys of the Virginia National Guard became Company A, 116th Regiment, 29th Infantry Division, and were, as we all know, among the first to land on Omaha Beach. Like Ernest, these were brothers. They were fathers, sons, ordinary men called to perform extraordinary acts of valor. They gave up their farms, they gave up their families for the battlefields of Europe. And yes, today, while words may fail to pay fully our indebtedness to these heroes of D-Day, we honor them by remembering their strength. In fact, when the Bedford Boys left American shores, it was Lady Liberty herself, a gift from France, holding the torch of freedom, who bid them farewell. D-Day was indeed the mission of all missions. Nearly 160,000 Allied troops, 73,000 Americans that stormed the beaches of Normandy, with Virginians playing a vital role. For nearly 2 years, the Bedford Boys had trained. Days before the landing, Sergeant Richard Jeffrey of Virginia was given orders to work around the clock at his station in Greenland, just below the Arctic Circle. You see, he didn't know it at the time, but the weather he forecast would determine the tide of the war. General Eisenhower made the decision to go. In the early hours of June 6, 1944, after the call to advance had been made, the same Sergeant Bob Slaughter that we just heard of from Roanoke and many of the Bedford Boys signed their names on a copy of Eisenhower's letter to the troops. And these words that we have just heard ring loudly through this memorial. You are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. These men were all part of a crusade to restore freedom when it had been wrongfully stolen. And at low tide, the unwavering and unyielding courage of our men, many carrying Bibles in their pockets, summoned extraordinary strength and charged the enemy lines. And through a sheet of fire, history moved through these heroic men to defend liberty and protect freedom. The rest is not history. It is the living, breathing part of our national heritage, which this memorial reflects so powerfully. Within 80 days, Paris was liberated. And with that, the beginning to the end of the war, with VE Day on May 8th, 1945. Like so many after the war's end, Ernest returned to a quiet life in America. He built a church in Virginia and continued a life of service as a pastor to many. The sacrifices of our heroes on that day echo through the halls of this great memorial, through the ages, across time and across space. It reminds us that freedom is not free. It persists in the spirit that lifts us all up today. D-Day solidified the values we cherish: uncommon strength, unity, selflessness, and an unwavering commitment to safeguard freedom at any cost. These are the values that define us as Virginians and as Americans. Today, we know the men and women of our armed forces have the same strength, earnest strength, the Bedford Boys' strength. And we continue to demonstrate that free people can and will come together to defeat the forces of tyranny, defend freedom, and make the world a better place. Here, saddled in the extraordinarily beautiful and quiet hills of the Blue Ridge Mountains, there is no more fitting place to remind us of our heritage and the strength, that extraordinary strength that is found in ordinary men and women, that is required even today. May we sing our national anthem loudly. May we say the Pledge of Allegiance boldly. And may we honor our flag daily. Because we must ask ourselves, can we carry on the legacy of the greatest generation through our words, our deeds, and our actions? Will we be a nation deserving of their sacrifice? And the answer is yes, we can and we must. Ernest, God bless you. God bless all of our World War II veterans who are here today. And may God bless the Commonwealth of Virginia and these United States of America. Thank you.